The Advisory Council met yesterday, October 27th, at the NJS Francis Building on Grand Turk. The council met without Governor Gordon Wetherill, but acting Governor Mark Capes chaired the meeting. This was followed by a media briefing.
We this morning have discussed a number of diverse issues. We started with a presentation on rents, government rents. We had some detailed work provided by EMS, Ministry of Works and Housing, on the list of rented properties by government, and against each property we had rents, square footage, and this is part of an effort we're undertaking to try to rationalise the amount of office space accommodation that government uses.
Other issues, according to acting Governor Capes, was education, in particular, how the underperforming students on government scholarships are managed, to the point, Capes said, where they may be possibly terminated if not achieving the required grades. The chief financial officer also briefed the council. There was also a presentation on customs work on a new software program. In a previous broadcast, News 4 reported on possible taxes to the Turks and Caicos as early as next year. News 4 understands that this is an EU-funded proposal, which would take into account whether or not property tax should be introduced. Now, this was brought up in the media briefing, and acting Governor Capes was asked to explain.
This exercise, the one that you've got the booklet about, is funded by the EU and is the second phase of that work.
Okay.
What we're looking at is, well, let me say first of all, the main objective of the government on the financial management side is to get us back to a balanced budget within 3 years, so that we have a sustainable platform to move on from. To achieve that, we have to look at a variety of pieces of work, whether that's looking at customs tariffs, looking at new taxes, looking at trimming expenditure in different ways, rationalising services, whatever it is. This is part of that work, to examine the options. Nothing's ruled in, nothing's ruled out. There's a huge amount of work to be done.
Next question to Capes was speculation on the government looking for a legal position on gratuities with regard to recent retired civil servants. There were also talks of government questioning whether or not they are legally bound to pay gratuities. So did TCIG come to a conclusion?
The problem, Robert, is that the legislation and the ordinances have been drafted rather vaguely or left vaguely. We had a case recently where we had to look at granting gratuities. There was a difference of opinion in different bits of government on what was the right entitlement, or whether there was an entitlement. That immediately raised some red flags, so we had to try and work it out. Rhonda Lee, Acting Attorney General, may have more to say on this, because it is, as you said in your opening remarks, there are legal issues there that we have to sort out. What I will assure you is that whoever is lawfully entitled to a gratuity, lawfully entitled under the existing ordinances, they will be getting a gratuity if they're entitled to it. What we're not going to do is pay people a gratuity to which they're not entitled under law.
We will have more from this media briefing in a subsequent newscast. For WIV4 News, I'm Takara Bain.